So, very important question. If that tether wasn't there, would the death egg just float away like a balloon? Anyway, hello, I'm Wes, the Explosion, and we're playing Sonic CD tonight. I have never played this before, like several of the Genesis games, although this is for Sega CD, obviously. So this will be an experience. Okay, if I let you play because this song's freaking awesome, are you going to copyright strike me? Like, I can't not listen to Sonic Boom. I never got claimed for Live and Learn. It's probably almost definitely fine. The song freaking rules, though. But yeah, I actually thought this was another Genesis title, though, right? And I looked it up, and they're like, no, it's actually for the Sega CD, and it's like, well, that makes the name make sense. And maybe it's one of those things that should have been obvious, but I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forget about the Sega CD. I think that just comes partly because, you know, Nintendo household and all that jazz. But my goodness, I have like a bunch of Sega consoles, like, that I got after the fact, of course, right? Whoops. Future, maybe? When I was, like, going back and collecting a bunch of retro consoles and everything, right? And I'm pretty sure I have a Genesis somewhere, and I have a Dreamcast, and I want to say a Saturn. But I do not know... Can I break this? I do not know if the CD is one of the old ones I have kicking around. It was honestly one of those things that I just started picking up consoles where I could find them cheap, just for the sake of having them. Because, you know, that's... Why buy things to use them when you can just buy things to keep them in storage for a billion years? I'll do one. Like I said, I don't really understand this too much. At first I thought it was going to be like the Mania thing. Where it's like, oh yeah, Mania, you know, you chase things down and you get the Chaos Emerald. And I could totally see this being like the inspiration for it, as it were. Where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is, you know, it's kind of like that. Yes. Well, it doesn't come to a point on the one side, so that means it's not a Chaos Emerald. They said it was a Time Stone. What will that involve? Yeah, evolve my Eevee into, I don't know if I should feel thankful that they're not doing that do because that is panic-inducing, right? But at the same time, it's also just like a good alert where it's like, hey, buddy, you're dying. Might want to do something about that. It's like looking up to figure out where this fits in like the timeline, because I couldn't remember if it was after one, you know, between 1 and 2 or between 2 and 3. I thought it was between 1 and 2. And I was right, but you know, when I was like looking it up, it said something like, you know, Wikipedia said something like that this was originally... Oh, I thought I might be able to do something there. Nope, I couldn't hit his eyes. But yeah, this was like originally meant to be a port, I think it said, of Sonic 1, and I'm just like... I don't really see the resemblance too much, other than it's a game where you play as Sonic. Like, this is weird. Go to the past so that way you can kill Eggman's grandmother so that he'll never be born. I feel like in a lot of Sonic games, it kind of has the philosophy of all paths lead to, you know, all paths lead to the end of the stage eventually. But with this, I'm just like, where the fuck do you want me to go, man? Am I even making any progress? The answer is probably no. How's it going, buddy? Pretty handsome. Oh my goodness. What did you... Eggman, I was admiring your work. You colossal ass. I was complimenting you. I was like, wow, what a handsome guy. You must have had quite the muse to create such a masterpiece. And what do? You just shoot me. I've heard of not being able to take a compliment, but this is ridiculous. I am so adorable. I'll just go after Eggman like this. He wouldn't hit a little guy. He would take the little guy and put him in a killer robot. That's what he would do. But hit them, no. I was expecting... You know what? We'll recycle this as many times as it takes. Darn it! I can just barely not reach him. Come down here and let me beat you up. It's how boss battles work. Oh. Yay, you did it, Sonic! Oh god. And then I guess I should also be looking at the top screen to see when we're about to hit a turn. But I'm just trying to look like straight ahead, and it's one of those things. It's like, oh well, the curve is here. Oh, that was the finish line. You did it. Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. Oh god, this track looks awful. I guess it's easy to put tracks together though when you're just, you know, there's not a lot of details in them. All this does is make me think, my goodness. I really wish I was playing F-Zero. What is my other bumper? Would it be so wrong for you to give me like 1 second to just be like, this is my buttons? No. Okay, I think I found it. No, I didn't find it. That was... This is really bad. Just because of how the buttons are set up. Maybe I can remap them, but A button, which is on the right, hits the left the left bumper, and B button, which is on the left, hits the right bumper. Like, who mapped these? Who mapped these? This looks weird as shit. Like, there's something they... This is the first one to use pre-rendered graphics. I'm just looking at them like, I'm sure this was a big deal, but there's something a little disturbing to me about this. Like, the bad part is, I almost, like, I can look at this and almost think to myself, oh yeah, I can see, like, similarities between, like, there's something kind of similar about this, like, comparing this to Donkey Kong Country, right? Because that was another one with, like, the whole pre-rendered thing. But I kinda think that Donkey Kong Country pulled it off. This one might be a little more debatable on whether this was a success or not. This one kind of feels like they reached for the stars and didn't quite, didn't quite make it the full way. I don't think that you're pure enough to ride the flying Nimbus. And you're definitely not Goku. Or Sun Wukong. Although I do appreciate the reference. I frickin' love Dragon Ball. Which pulls from Journey from the West, which is probably what you're referencing. You could also just be referencing Dragon Ball. Honestly, at this point, you might say that Dragon Ball is maybe a bit more famous than Journey to the West. I don't know. Maybe that's blasphemy to say. But Dragon Ball was definitely my introduction to it. Can you please? Like, how many times do you need to shoot yourself, Eggman? Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Alright, I did it.